Hey everybody, I am John BenderWaffles Aljets, and this is Critical Development, the show where I take a look at your maps, critique them, and then remake one in my own style. In this episode, we're going to be looking at 3 maps posted on my Discord. And if you want to get in on the action over there, there should be a link to that Discord down in the description box below. Without any further ado, let's go ahead and jump in with our first map. This map was created by Discord user Kaitlyn Kitty and shows us a small medieval town. And when I say small, I mean small. It is compact, which in some ways is good, but then in others, not so much. Now, I know it's kind of funny me saying this because I often will make maps where there's not a ton of room to run around, but this map feels claustrophobic, which is the biggest problem with it. There's also the issue of the buildings feeling very samey. While I like the look of them, there really isn't much variation between them. You've got your vertical style houses and your horizontal style houses. That's it. There's no L buildings, no T's, nothing. And heck, even the vines and the windows and the chimneys, they're all in the same place on all of the buildings, making everything feel very identical. Outside of that though, I actually quite like this map. It's very vivid, good use of color, nice mixing up of the roof tiles, which don't always work with all styles, but when you're making just a traditional RPG, it works here. It wouldn't work with something like Pokemon, where traditionally the cities all have the same colored roofs, or at least all fit within the same color scheme. But here it works. I also really like the use of different elevations. Nice touch. Outside of that, I don't really have much to say about this map. I think it's pretty solid. Just needs a little bit of tweaking here and there, and maybe just change some stuff up, and then it'll be pretty good. Our next map is from MemoryAndHopeCreator, and it's for a Pokemon fan game. It's a small map, but it's very visually distinctive. It's an area where it looks like the player might have gotten off a boat on a new area or something. So it's a nice little introduction to some of the visual flair that you might see in this area. Right off the bat, you'll see some like visual glitchery with the sand area. I'm assuming that the way that this screenshot was taken is why it is like that. It was probably just layer view. And if not, it's just a small little tweak that needs to be made to the tile set. The mushrooms, I think, are a really nice touch. Not really something that you see in Pokemon fan games all too often, but I think it looks really nice. As well as good variation in the trees. I'm not a huge fan of mixing multicolored trees amongst each other, but I do like using trees that aren't a traditional, green color that you normally see within Pokemon games. So I think that it really looks nice. My one complaint with this map is that it doesn't really fall into Game Freak's mapping style from generations 3, 4, 5, which tends to be what fan games are sort of looking like. And it doesn't fit into that mainly because the player should feasibly be able to reach the edges of the map. Now, why is this a problem? Well, within RPG Maker XP, when you reach the edge of the map, the camera will stop moving, but the player can keep moving for a little bit. That doesn't really happen within Game Freak games. There's always usually a buffer zone of unreachable territory that just gives you a little bit of room for the camera to keep moving. Is this making sense? Point is, being able to reach the actual outside border of the map is not a good idea. It just doesn't look right within a Pokemon fan game. It doesn't fit the style. So maybe clump those trees up a little bit more, close in that space just a little bit more, add in some extra little things, make sure that paths are completely blocked off that the player can't walk through. And then, yeah, it's a solid map. I love it. Very good job there, MemoryAndHopeCreator. I hope to see more. And I mean, I already have seen more since you posted this map, so keep it up. Our last map here is from KP. And it shows a pretty nice town. And I'm not just saying that because it was made using the tile set that you can download over on the Discord. This map almost perfectly fits Game Freak style. This looks like something that you might see within a proper Pokemon game. It's nice and vibrant, and it has a good flow to the map. It's pretty easy to tell where you're supposed to go. However, there are a few problems. One is that buffer zone that I was talking about on MemoryAndHopeCreator's map. With this map, you could feasibly walk almost up to the edge. You've got a little bit like a 1 to 2 tile sort of buffer zone, but it's not enough for the whole camera situation to not be a problem. Now with this map, this could be fixed very easily. All you have to do is add, I believe it's either 4 or 8. I can't remember. It's either 4 or 8 tiles on the outside ring around the map. And you could do it in just trees or rock faces where it's appropriate. So that's super simple. The other problem with this map that causes it to not really fit into the Game Freak style is the different roofs. With Kaitlyn Kitty's map, I pointed out that within traditional RPGs, it's usually okay to have different color schemes within a city. But within Game Freak style, that doesn't really happen. Now, you could argue that you could get away with it here because the buildings at least look the same, so there's a visual element that's tying them all together. But it's just not really right within the era of Pokemon that we're talking about here. Also, I'm assuming that this is a starter town because there's no marts, there's no Poke Center. I'm assuming that that's a lab. But since this is the map that I'm going to remake within my style, using this exact same tile set, so it's going to look pretty similar, I am going to kind of toy with it a little bit and sort of tell myself, okay, this is maybe a later game town, and throw in a Poke Center and a mart where I think it makes sense for them to be. So with that being said, let's go ahead and jump into it.
We're on a journey, looking back on the things that we've taken for granted, but feels like we're learning to be better without what's been holding us back now. Let's move closer to a new history, find out what we can be together. Take my hand and we will conquer the world. This is our final chance. 'Cause one day we'll be looking back at this. We were in a big mess together. But we found a way to choose right from wrong. We found the strength to go on together. To go on together. Yeah. To go on together. To go on together. Moonlight and fire, dancing closely together and staying forever young. What about you and I then? Can we two find a way to align with each other? Let's move closer to a new history, find out what we can be together. Take my hand and we will conquer the world. This is our final chance. 'Cause one day we'll be looking back at this. We were in a big mess together. But we found a way to choose right from wrong. We found the strength to go on together. To go on together. Yeah. To go on together. To go on
Alright, as I said, these two maps were not going to be majorly different because they are using the same tile set. And really, there weren't a ton of problems with KP's original map. Just small little things that needed tweaking. You all are getting so much better at mapping, so much so that I actually struggled to find things to talk about in this episode. It was almost a problem, actually. And while I'm not going to take total credit for it, I'd like to imagine that videos like this have helped at least some of you. Maybe. With all that being said, that was our episode. So for now, I'm just going to say goodbye, good night, good luck, and thanks for watching. Oh, also, don't forget to like, subscribe, do all that sort of stuff. I'm posting videos on Fridays now. We're going to see how long that keeps up, but, you know, you could do all of those things and make me a very happy man. Okay, bye for real now.